Here, this is your room. I hope you like it well enough. That's good. It's a bit smaller than I would have preferred, but we need to work with what we have. Father could have sent me out to some derelict barn near the border of enemy territories, so I'm at least grateful that he didn't. As long as I have a roof over my head that I can share with my friends, I can't complain. I just wish I could have promised you and the others something a bit more fancy, for lack of a better word. You should have seen the others' faces when they saw their own rooms. They nearly scared me half to death with the thought of becoming an empty nester before I turned 40. But I suppose I don't blame them for considering leaving. I promised them a new home and a royal suite, and, well... No, don't say that. I failed to deliver on luxury. It's what you deserve for being so kind to me for all of these years. Well, I'm glad it's to your liking. But I do want to add to the decorations at some point to make you feel more at home. If I could give you a bigger room, I would. But this is one of the largest ones in the estate. I know it's probably nowhere near enough for dancing, but there's always the courtyard if you need the space. In fact, maybe it's better that way, so I can get to see you more often from my quarters. I suppose it's one benefit over my old life. Father had enough reasons to scold me as it is. Getting distracted over servants or common folk would have surely gotten me cut off much sooner. I still count my blessings that he never made any comments about you or the others. Though I don't doubt that it's one of several things he used to justify stripping away my right to the throne. However, now that I'm no longer under his watchful gaze, I don't think it matters much to him who I keep in my company. I may as well be a commoner in his eyes. An estate like this is worth mere pocket change compared to the majesty of the royal palace, and whatever else my father will be receiving in my stead. As long as he fits father's standards, all of the focus will go to him. I can't say I envy his position in the slightest. Personal incompetence aside, maintaining a large palace is difficult on its own. On top of fulfilling the needs of the people, he certainly has his work cut out for him. You don't have to butter me up like that. I know I wasn't the right choice for the throne. A queen needs to have the desire to use the skills she has, and not waste them or pretend that they don't exist. Oh? What's with that look? Of course I gave the tutor my full attention during lessons. Even if I knew I wasn't going to use what I learned, it would have been rude of me to waste her time completely. You know, just because I can speak in common colloquialisms doesn't mean I was raised in a barn. I'm not saying you were either. I just wish you'd give me some credit. You may think you know me well enough, but I guarantee you that I'm not as easy of a read as you think I am. Would you believe me if I told you that I had the makings of a queen, that I purposely fumbled my opportunities to guarantee myself a quiet life with you all? If I'm smart enough to come up with an excuse to explain my own shortcomings, then certainly I have the skills to convince people that I'm less competent than I really am. Well, clearly I fooled you too if you think I'm that stupid. No, I don't want you to think I'm stupid. Never mind. I have the rest of my life to prove to you that I'm not. You do plan to stay here, don't you? I don't mind hosting you and the others for as long as you need. The allowance I'm receiving is more than enough to maintain a royal lifestyle, but it's clear that royal status doesn't suit me. And personally, I'm fine with a humble lifestyle if it means having enough money to host more friends. Well, humble by comparison, but I'm thinking of cutting back on the niceties to save up for renovations to your rooms. Anything to convince you to stay. The larger the estate, the lonelier the halls are when there are fewer friends to walk down them. If I can keep everything lively, giving up my old life will be all the more worth it to me. The more the merrier, really. But I think these halls are best suited for loved ones. That includes you and the others. Is that so strange? I don't think marriage will change what I envision for this place. Well, to begin with, I wouldn't marry someone who would toss my friends out of their homes. It's one of the nice benefits from no longer having my old responsibilities. Someone of similar standing would have been arranged for me, and I doubt they'd have tolerated being around anyone they'd considered lesser than them. That's why I'd prefer marrying a close friend instead. Of course. Why wouldn't I want to spend my life with someone I know well? Oh, have you figured it all out now? That it was all part of my plan to sabotage my right to the throne with incompetence so that I could actually marry someone I love. Genius, don't you think? You know, I'm sure that sort of friend would see through the ruse and realize that I'm not actually a complete idiot. Well, then you might want to consider your own taste if you're perfectly fine remaining friends with me. I thought I only sent invitations to my closest friends. It would be a shame if you, too, were pretending to be something that you're not, just for your own benefit. Are we birds of a feather, perhaps? I truly hope you aren't thinking you can take advantage of my generosity. None of this is for free, you know. Oh, but don't worry. I take favors as payment. How about you dance for me? Right here, yes. Your courtyard performances might pay for your room and board, but not renovations. If you want something special for me, then I think it's only fair for you to return the favor. Please? Wonderful! Is that a new dance? Did you make it up on the spot? You're really good at that then. Sorry for making you come up with something on the spot, but I very much enjoyed that. No, don't worry about that. I was joking. Renovations are on me. I just enjoy watching you dance. It reminds me of happier days. Hopefully there's more to come. And more dances, of course. Next time, I'll ask you to prepare something in advance. Probably for when I get married. Maybe sooner rather than later. There are several prospects for me to go through, and I think it would help to properly start this new chapter of my life. Queen or not, I'm still of royal blood, and I have money. If anything, I'll be hearing from people who never thought they had a chance with me until now. Maybe they do, but that's for me to decide. There's several things that need to be taken into consideration and accounted for, and it will probably take me some time to deliberate. So, I'll be taking my leave for the moment. Please, make yourself at home. Is something the matter? Oh? Do you not trust me to pick out a good partner? Be honest. That look says everything. If you have an issue with my potential prospects, I'm happy to hear about them. You're a close friend, so I know you care about my well-being. But I'm not so sure I can trust your judgment. I think you're very wrong about me. And I think I'm smart enough to decide who would make for a good partner. I do. And I don't need someone breathing down my neck and scrutinizing my personal taste. I mean, you know what they are, so what's the issue? Is there something wrong with wanting to marry a friend? I do have money, plenty of which you know. Did you want to help me decide? If not, I'll do it myself, privately. Do you think you know what's best for me? Then who should I marry? I can answer for you. Well, I already know what you want to say. Do you know why? Because I'm smarter than you think I am. You know that, and I know you like that. You're not getting off the hook that easily. I want you to say it in your own words. It's easier to believe when it comes straight from you, because if there's one thing I trust, it's your feelings. So please, tell me. I see. So why do you think I should marry you? We may be friends, but you're not the only one. So something needs to stand out about you. Do you love me? Prove it. You may say that you love me, but you also said I wasn't faking my own incompetence. So, either one of those is a lie, or you just have to admit that you love an incompetent woman. No, I didn't mean I wanted you to do that. I'm not. Fine. Believe whatever you want. Still, which sounds better? My own incompetence gave me the opportunity to marry you, or that I chose to sacrifice everything for you? Either way, have I given you enough reason to believe that I love you? I do. That's why I want to give you a happy life where we don't have to worry about me being dragged off to marry someone else. Do you at least believe that? I'm glad. And I want to believe you, too. I just need you to convince me like I did for you. No words this time. Actions. I trust those a lot more right now. Come on. You know what you need to do. Do you need someone to make up for your shortcomings, too? Well, if there's one thing I'm very confident at, it's getting what I want, one way or another. I'll prove it right now. You really like that, don't you? I can tell. Yes, I believe you now. I do want to ask you one thing before I decide what to do from here. My title is basically meaningless now. I may be a princess in name and blood, but marrying me won't truly make you royalty. I suppose you'd be a consort in some sense, but it won't matter to anyone in power. At the end of the day, we'd just be like any other couple out there. Though, I take it that shouldn't matter much if you're still interested in marrying me. Clearly, you're more interested in people you perceive as bumbling fools over someone powerful. Perception does not equal reality. Well, the reality is that you need me to initiate intimacy because you're too embarrassed to do it yourself. Say what you want, but I guess if we don't believe each other, we have plenty of time to prove the other is wrong. Well, if we want this to be a good relationship, we can just let it go. It's probably for the best if we drop the arguments. How about we start this relationship off on the basis that we both love each other equally? Does that sound good? Good. Because whether you believe it or not, that's been my goal from the very start.